Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is.
Hey,
All right,
let's get
let's
going.
do it. Hey, Tailgate Beers here, Austin here. It's day 3, Tailgate N Tallboys here in Bloomington, Illinois, and we're hanging out with our new friend, Logan Crosby. Logan, thanks for joining us.
What's up? Thank y'all for having me.
It's been a heck of a weekend here at Tailgate N Tallboys, and you just got off stage.
Yes.
What was your experience like?
It was great. It was great. It was. It wasn't too hot, which is nice because I know it's the summer. But fans were great. Everybody was into it. Band loved it. It was great. Everything was good.
So you kind of got a feeling. We talked off camera just for a few minutes, and you got a feeling of that Midwest vibe, right? Everybody's having a good time. You mentioned at 3:45, you could see some people out there probably already had too good of a time.
Yeah, there was one gentleman that had his shirt off and he was wearing neon green pants, and he wasn't. I would say he wasn't walking in a straight line, but he wasn't walking generally. He was kind of crawling. And the one thing about the Midwest, I mean, you know, people in the South, we can drink, but Midwest folks know how to drink.
Yes.
I mean, y'all can drink beer like water. It's insane.
You kind of grew up going through that. It's like, yeah.
And even here, the thing is, this is a marathon. So as we stare out over the campground, like, people are getting up and they're probably starting to drink at 10, 12.
Yep.
And so even by the time you go on, they could have been drinking for 6 hours.
Correct. Well, that gentleman was probably drinking for at least 8, if not
He
9.
probably hasn't stopped from last night with partying.
He
so.
was still drunk when he woke up this morning,
Yeah.
which good for him. But
His clothes were still wet from the rain last night.
get that man some knee pads. I mean, God.
And so last year
almighty.
today got canceled
Mm-hmm.
with Cody Johnson because of rain. And we got through last night. Hardy went on. It was amazing. But you couldn't ask for better weather, considering a lot of people were upset and hurt when Cody Johnson got canceled. So, yeah, you got a beautiful day.
Beautiful day. It was great. It's not too humid up here. There was a little bit of wind. It was great. It was all around 10 out of 10. Great time. The band, we had a great show. We had so much fun. It was good.
So tell us about your scene and your music scene of right now. You just said you're from Georgia, live in Nashville. How long have you lived in Nashville?
I moved to Nashville in 2022. And then right after that, I've known Megan Moroney for a couple years, so I went on tour with her for a year and a half. Toured with her, Cameron Marlowe, Alexandra Kay, put out my first record last September. We're going to do another record this year. I'm still an independent artist, so there's no label involved, which is awesome. That we're able to, we built something super cool. I mean, I feel like we can go a lot of places in the country and sell a decent amount of tickets. We did a run last week. Philly was sold out. New York City sold out. So to do that as an independent artist is really cool, and we've just built something that I feel like is cool. And there's a lot of independent artists out there right now, which you can do it independent now. Back in the day, you had to have a label, but now you can do it independent. And if there's any artists listening, I would urge you to do it independent as long as you can, just because the payoff's so great.
And that's what I was going to ask too. So if you can make it independent, you're obviously better off that way, and you just ride that train as long as you possibly can.
As long as you can, keep a lot of your stuff, make a lot of those decisions. And not that a label's bad, because they're not, and everybody wants a record deal, but you just kind of get to a point where it's like, no, we can go run this business ourselves. Let's go do it as long as we can, and then get a good partner involved whenever you're ready and take off.
Was music always like the front runner? I'm gonna go do music when I get X age, or
I mean, I'm from Georgia, so my grandma's made me sing in church. I didn't have much of a choice, so I think I know every hymn in the Baptist hymnal front to back. But when I was in high school, I was in a bunch of bands, like church bands and garage bands, and when I went to college, I was like, hey man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this professionally. Like I told y'all, Aldean is my second cousin, so like watching him reach, I mean, the pinnacle, you don't get bigger than Aldean was and still is. And it's like, well, you can try, but you're not gonna. That was my North Star, and I'm like, I'll just be a lawyer. And then I went to UGA and got a pre-law degree and figured out I couldn't read well. And I said, well, that was like one of the top requirements for being a lawyer is read. And I was like, well, shit. So
now what's plan B?
After that, I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna pick this guitar back up. And so I started playing bars and clubs and all kinds of stuff in and around Georgia. And it was, it was great. And I was like, when I graduate, I'm gonna move and just see. And I graduated on a Friday and moved to Nashville on a Sunday. Yeah. I was like, there's no other. I just have to do it. So I've been up there for a while.
Surfside's got real vodka, real iced tea, and real lemonade. You know what's not real? That excuse you gave to skip the tailgate. Grab a Surfside and redeem yourself, champ. Now back to your regular programming.
So certainly, I'm sure the goal. So we just saw your second cousin Jason last week in Clinton, Iowa, Tailgate N Tallboys, and the funnest thing for me as a fan, right, is his whole set was 30 songs of #1 hits.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait, he just hit what, 30 or 31?
He just hit 30 last week.
Yeah.
Which is it's ridiculous. I mean, you go through a whole festival set and just playing #1 hits. I mean, that I'm sure is the goal. Is that what you're seeking towards?
Oh yeah, for sure. Just he gets up there and plays. That's we were talking one time and he was talking about the set and he's like, I don't know, we're trying to pick the set, and I was like, just put all the songs up on a dartboard and throw that son of a bitch, and they're all hits. They know them all. But yeah, that's always the goal. But I think in that, as you build that, I mean, he came out with Hicktown in 2005. It's 2025, so 20 years, 30 #1s, which is crazy. But we saw, who did we see last night? Big and Rich.
Yeah.
And we watched them play at Rock the Country. They did an hour set. I mean, and they've got some hits, but I mean, they obviously have massive hit. But they put on a hell of a show for an hour.
Yep.
And it's just showmanship, and that's why it's been important. When I moved to town, I made the decision that I was going to go play lots of shows, and we were going to build something on the road, because you just learn how to be a good showman and a good entertainer, and had to do that when I was playing Mexican restaurants in college too. But I think that's the thing. Like, Jason's such an entertaining act to watch, and there's so many guys, and then there's guys out there that only have a couple hits, but they put on a hell of a show. So it's just we want to put on the best show that we can every single night we go on stage, no matter how many hits.
You certainly can gain a lot of followers or social media world, but you can also gain a lot of fans that way too. I mean, we have openers out here that just put on a hell of a show, and immediately you got people that will follow you anywhere. You go from Iowa to Ohio to Indiana, to Detroit or wherever here in the Midwest, and we know people that will follow these smaller bands all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, that was with social media. I mean, I've got a decent amount of followers on like TikTok and Instagram, and I love those platforms because they're a great tool, especially now to like grow your music. And so, but it's always just been important for us to go out, play the shows, build a hard ticket fan base. My TikTok is 95% just me talking shit or saying something stupid, and that's what goes viral. I saw on Facebook the other day in my hometown, some lady said that her kid had hands, foots, and mouths instead of hand, foot, and mouth, and so I made a TikTok about it. Of course, that son of a bitch has like 500,000 views. I'm like, this is the one.
Right.
I'm like, listen to my music, and they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just fun. I mean, I don't think there's any rules on social media nowadays, and it's just fun. We just have fun with it. You got to have fun. If you're not, then why are we doing this?
And you just never know what it's going to be.
Right.
Just like you just said. I mean, we've been out here and we've interviewed some people in the campground, some degenerates, as Razor Rowdy would call them. And it's hitting, thousands of views, where we spend a lot of time on editing and stuff like that for a podcast, and we get hundreds.
Isn't that funny?
It is
all
crazy.
The stuff that you go spend a
You
bunch
just
of
do
money
one
and time
dumb
on.
thing.
Right.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, let me just say something.
Yeah,
They're like, oh,
yeah.
we're listening. I'm like, well, hey, can you listen whenever I spent 8 hours on this
Right,
son of a bitch?
exactly.
Yeah.
And a podcast is a grind too, because people aren't even as lucky as we are that we get to have. I mean, our first podcast was Lakeview that got released, and the second was Josh Ross. There's not a lot of guys that say, hey, we just sit in our garage and look, you grind for years of just sitting there talking, and we get the luxury of being able to interview people all the time that you never know, and then all of a sudden one of them though just takes off.
Yep.
But it's a cool network of people, and Raise Rowdy's been super influential to us.
I love those guys.
We love having you, and I have a question of, so going back to, not to stick on Jason Aldean, but we again just saw him. What do you think are his top 3 most underrated songs in your mind?
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
That maybe you haven't even hit a top.
The deep cuts. I think this was a single way back in maybe 2009. This I Gotta See is one of my favorites. See You When I See You is one of my favorites. And then a song that I wish he would have singled a couple years ago. What's it called? I think Morgan Wallen may have wrote it. It was off that Macon, Georgia record. Hell, I don't know. It's whatever that one is. It's like, been up and Telluride. It's close to the sky, felt like I could touch it. Been in the Gulf Shore.
Okay.
Whatever that is. If you're listening to this, go Shazam.
Yeah,
that.
we'll go find it after this.
But those are my 3. But man, he's got so many.
See, I
hits.
wanted to hear. I love Asphalt Cowboy.
Asphalt Cowboy on that first record. What was that other one that I love? There's a bunch on that first record.
So
That's one
many
of my
on it.
favorite.
And
records.
actually, I think on that first one, Hicktown. Well, is it Hicktown is on that one, right?
Yep, Hicktown.
But then his other one that went big right after that was Why.
Why?
And I remember that because I grew up big music video guy.
Yes.
So music videos and that music videos.
Yeah, the Hicktown. Quick story. The Hicktown music video. I remember we got it on like DVD, and we used to pop it. I used to pop it in there and watch it all the time. And there was a part of that song where it's like a woman smoking Pall Malls, watching Laura Ingalls, and everybody in the music video smoking cigarettes. And I remember going and finding a white Crayola crayon and acting like I was smoking a cigarette, and my dad whooped my ass. So what are you doing? I was like, I'm smoking a cigarette, because Jason's smoking a cigarette. He's like, no, come here. And beat my ass. But yeah, no, he's got some great hits. Great guy, and it's been cool coming up, being able to just. People ask me like, what's the biggest thing he's done, for you in your career? It's just he just answers the phone. I'll call him about deals or about, hey, do you think I should do this? And he's always super attentive, and he's like, I would do that. He's like, ultimately, it's your decision.
Yeah.
But he always has great advice to give.
So now, doesn't he has what is it, Broken Boat, or what is his?
He's got an imprint, Broken Boat, Night Train Records.
Night Train Records.
Yeah. I think John Morgan is
Okay.
on that. And if you hadn't heard of John,
Oh, yeah.
John Morgan is great, man. But yeah, no, he's been great. We go on vacation at least once a year together.
Okay.
Usually drink too much tequila, but it's fun. My head hurts for about 2 weeks after we get back home from wherever we went, but it's fun.
So for you being here at the festival, which again, we're happy to have you for the first time, what do you think is something where you're going, man, this is my goal for the year? What is a goal for you right now in 2025? Where is it to play these festivals and be on the stage? Is it to write a certain amount of songs? What is your goal for 2025?
We're gonna do another record. I put out a record last September. We're gonna do another record in October of this year. So getting that thing out and then touring that as much as we can in 2026. I know that's looking forward to that. But we've done a bunch of shows this year. We were on tour with Alexandra Kay. We did.
She's awesome.
She was a
we love
great,
her, Kay.
used to be independent artist, just signed with actually Broken Bow, but she was independent for so long and built a really great fan base. But we did 32 shows in 40 days with her straight, and then
Jeez.
got off that, started doing the Rock the Countries, and then doing my headlining tour, and then going out with Cole Swindell in September, October this year, and then wrap up the year after that, and then put out the record and start looking forward to next year. But I think this year, just playing as many shows as we can and just getting the band where we were a year ago, hell, even 3 months ago to now. It's just a totally different band. So continuing to grow that so we can go out every night and put on the best show. I'm not real keen on the whole it's got to go viral overnight. There has to be overnight success. I mean, you look at all those guys. I mean, Jason moved to town in 96. He didn't have his first hit until 2005. Laney Wilson was in town for 8 years. Hell, Cody Johnson, I mean, this playing tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, he put out how many records before anything, really took off, and was just working his ass off in Texas. And so it doesn't have to be anything that happens crazy overnight. So just continuing to build a great fan base. My fans are the best fans in the world, but just one by one, building fans, putting on great shows, and kicking ass every night, and then just keep looking forward to the next.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
have you had a chance to talk with Cody before? Have you ever met Cody?
I've never met Cody. I listened to all of his songs. He's great. I think he's one of the best vocalists in town. No doubt about it. He's just a super badass guy.
So we talked about this on one of the last podcasts we did with even Fox and Veed.
Yep.
Was on here and some stuff like that. And what we've even been hearing from several other people is too, like, man, I know it gets hard, but even at Jason's level and Cody's level, just be so cool for them to be able to continue to reach out on a day like this. Can you imagine if all of a sudden your manager's like, hey, by the way, Cody just needs to see you for a couple minutes. Hey, great to have you here. Here's a little bit of advice. Like, dude, that's so influential. So someday, when you get massive and you have that compound and you're huge, like, don't forget.
You don't
this
forget
feeling.
that. You don't ever forget those either. Probably the one I remember the most is we opened for the Jonas Brothers in Canada last year.
That's
which
crazy.
is crazy.
That's wild.
It's like 20,000 person
How's that
arena.
even come about?
I was on the TV show I was on. Kevin Jonas hosted it. So we went and opened the show for the Jonas Brothers in front of 20,000 people, which is more from this double what my hometown is. So I was like, well, this is what this shit looks like if you put my whole hometown in the room twice. And Kevin's like, I want to see you. So security guard came and got me. He's like, hey man, great show. Keep doing the thing. If you know, here's my number. If you need something, call me. And you remember those things as an artist coming up. And like you said, I remember those talks with Megan on the bus when we were doing 500 cap rooms, and now she's in 15,000 person amphitheaters, and like remember those things that she told me, or Cameron Marlowe when I was on the road with him. And so you take that, you pass that on, you know, and when people open for you, which people are now, it's like, hey man, if you ever have questions or you want to talk about something, call me, let's talk about it. I mean, music's great because we just build a really cool community that we all know what each other's going through.
Right.
Because no matter what, it's like, you know, I remember the days where I was playing Mexican restaurants and 8 people were showing up, 7 were my family, 1 was the bartender, and it's just like, you know, to be able to give advice to people that are coming up, it's an awesome thing to do.
So from a fan perspective, which is I try to bring as much as I can anyway. You guys on a bus? Yeah. So like, what's the bus like with your crew? And
well, it's a 2003 Indiana State Prison bus that my guitar player bought off of Facebook Marketplace, and we put some money into it and got it renovated, and it's great, man. We call it the Snow Ghost. That son of a bitch will go anywhere. It's insane, but it's so funny. We were playing CCMF last year, Carolina Country Music Fest.
Yeah.
I woke up and I was sick as hell, so I went to the tent, got a shot in my ass, came back. All these folks from all kinds of camps were on the bus, and they're like, man, this is the coolest bus we've ever seen. I'm like, hey man, you're in a $1.4 million Prevost. Your bus is great. And they're like, no, the prison bus is the coolest thing we've ever seen. I'm like, okay.
The prison bus.
But yes, it's just an old Indiana State Prison bus.
That's
it's the
awesome.
coolest thing ever. And we pull up in it. We had a van that we were in last year, and that son of a bitch burnt down on the side of the road in Mobile, Alabama. And so we had to, we're like, called the insurance
Upgrade
company.
fast,
We're like,
yeah.
hey, we got to have something else. So
Those stories are amazing because Lakeview, who I'm really close with, they had this van, and what's nuts is they played the same day as Nickelback here a couple years ago.
Okay.
And Nickelback had that old school retro van and some artwork, and they had a van that looked just like that. It broke down in Arizona on the side of the road, and I told them, I'm like, I want to buy that van off of you.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Well, it broke down. They left it.
They just left
got a rental car. They were in the back of a U-Haul, like videos of them in a trailer, just videotaping them driving away from the van, left it there, and kind of those memories
you get from doing it, like coming up that way, is so cool.
Absolutely.
Because you just have I tell people all the time, I said, I may not have the hits yet, but I was like, I'm definitely a great podcast guest. I was like, because I have we have so many stories of just shit that's happened on the road. But when the van burnt down, we were like, all right, well, I didn't know Rock Bottom had a basement, and we found that son of a bitch 45 miles outside of Mobile, Alabama. But yeah, so now we're on the prison bus, and I'm like, I told my guitar player, I'm like, don't sell that son of a bitch. I was like, because I may want it one day and just turn it into like a star coach, and it fits. It fits the brand.
Museum item.
If I was you, I would save it someday, because someday you're gonna be huge, you're gonna be massive, and it'll be cool. Like, yeah, I still have the prison bus. We bust it out from time to time.
You still have it? My favorite thing I've probably seen, like in the celebrity bars they have in Nashville, is Old Dominion just opened theirs, and in their bar they have a pontoon.
Yes.
A pontoon boat just like shoved up on the wall, and like they turned it into a little bar. And I'm like, we could take that prison bus and put that son of a bitch in a bar one day, or we can lease it out to state of Tennessee if this ever goes south for me, and just like, all right, man, like, you need this bus, you call me, I'll give you a lease on it.
Someday in a trailer park somewhere, there's a guy that's like, hey, I wonder who used this bus, and it's like, well, I still live in it. It's my career's gone.
I would live in it. It'd be cheaper than rent in Nashville, I'll tell you that. But the bus is great.
Dude, we appreciate you coming on. This was
much.
last minute as hell. I didn't have anybody's contact, and Ray's Rowdy made this happen, and we're so glad to have you, and I hope to see you at
Shout out Ray's
Cruisins.
Rowdy. Love y'all guys.
Yeah, dude. Cheers, man.
Thank
I appreciate
y'all so
the hell
much for
out of you,
having
man.
me, dude.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for being here, dude.
Heck yeah, thank y'all.